Hi and welcome to Debunk File. My name is Sep and today we're going to be doing yet another dive into the deep, dark depths of 4chan. Before this video begins, I want to give a quick warning as some of the topics discussed here are disturbing and tragic. Some of the content lying ahead isn't for the faint of heart, so please proceed with caution. Unlike our normal videos, for these, there really is no intro needed, but for today, I do want to very quickly say something before we begin, and it's pretty simple. Finding these posts for our deep dives isn't really easy, and so if you ever see anything creepy on 4chan or know of something creepy that has happened on 4chan, feel free to either comment it or send it to any of our various social medias, all of which is of course linked in the description. And we will make sure to credit you accordingly, so please make sure to send us whatever you find. With this being said, let's just get to the task at hand. It's time to go on a dive. The first post on our dive today is about a supposed phenomenon happening in France right now as we speak. Let's first read what the OP said about this situation. Hey X, I heard you liked unexplained mysteries, so here's an actual case to investigate. Maybe you already heard about the huge wave of horses mysteriously killed, tortured, and mutilated in France. Everything begun around January, but things have really speeded up since August, with almost a horse killed every day in the whole country. Actually, it seems we have around 40 cases of horses killed or horribly mutilated in the whole country, almost in every area of the country, which seems to exclude a single criminal and had led police to investigate on internet to find a secret cult, a sect, a satanic group, or an internet challenge. The mutilations are particularly violent. Almost every horse attacked had its right ear severed and removed. A lot had been cutted on at least 30 to 40 centimeters, had their eyes burst, and their genital organs destroyed or removed. Some had been dismembered and or drained of their blood. No bullshit. What do you think? Here's a map of the attacks. Yeah, this might be one of the single weirdest things I have ever seen in a really long time. Of course, I naturally went all over the web to read more about this utterly insane phenomenon, and most of what I read was honestly summarized pretty well by the OP, including ear removals and full-on blood drainage. However, with some articles, I actually found a few first-hand accounts. As seen with this small excerpt, this man was literally warding off 2 attackers who cut the tails off of his ponies, injuring him in the process, and fleeing away in a vehicle. Police actually made an e-fit portrait of what one of the men that attacked supposedly looked like, and this is a picture of it. As the OP said, these killings are likely done by a large amount of people, and the main thing that supports this is the map that was released of all of the attacks that have happened, which as you can see covers a pretty large amount of land, and with literally about a horse being attacked / killed every single day since August, this is clearly the works of multiple people. One thing that is really worth noting that I actually stumbled across was an event that happened on September 3rd. As we have stated, these attacks have been exclusively on horses, and that is true, except for September 3rd, because on this day, there was actually an alpaca found dead with its ear cut off. This is the only non-horse that was attacked, and it only raises more questions. As stated, there's been about an attack a day since August, which is absolutely insane. But the very first attack was actually all the way back in January. But still, as of now, there is not a single thing that has been done, and the attacks are still going on. The fact that the police hasn't figured this out yet is honestly baffling to me, especially with the insane violence and frequency going on here. So I would definitely suggest keeping your eyes open on what goes down with this mystery for the foreseeable future. With the cops not being able to figure this out, and with us not even being close to France, there isn't even really a single thing we can theorize about. Of course, most people think this is some underground cult, but as we said, there has literally been nothing at all regarding answers. So we're gonna have to leave this one here, as yet another insane event in one of the most insane years of all time. The next post on our deep dive here today is one that I'm simply going to title The Unknown Caller. Just take a listen. I'm so fucking scared right now. I shit you not, this just happened to me and I can't fucking sleep. Be me, 27-year-old male. Be sleeping in what used to be my grandma's house. It's been years since she passed away. Be homesitting for almost a year now. Have a home phone but never use it. No one calls and I use my cell phone only. Phone rings in the middle of the night. Wake up and pick it. Here's the conversation.
Hi.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for picking up. I wanted to say something to you.
Uh-huh.
I really think you're a good person. God bless you.
Oh, okay.
Good night.
Good night.
The voice sounded like a recording of sorts, but it waited for my responses to continue. It could have been male or female, I couldn't figure it out. It wasn't a voice that sounded old or childish, anything. I just can't imagine the person that called. Only thing that eases me is that my cat is relaxed. Any thoughts? So yeah, this one isn't really much of a mystery. I mean, technically it is because the OP has no idea who was calling him, but we more so just wanted to share this one because something about it made the hairs on my robotic neck stand up as well. It was just a really odd event that, if true, definitely would have me questioning what the hell just happened to me too. The third post on our 4chan deep dive is actually one of the most famous posts in all of 4chan, so if you are an avid 4chan user, you are definitely going to know all about this one. But despite all of that, I must say that this post is both surreal and incredibly depressing, so I'm going to have to ask you all to proceed with caution for this one. If you've somehow never seen this post, you are definitely going to be in for a ride, as this post surrounds a 4chaner who finds a grenade. Let's just get into this. As you can see by his first post here, the OP mentions going through some things after his dad died, and of these things was somehow a grenade in there, and so the first thing he decided to do was ask 4chan what he should do with the grenade. Naturally, nearly everybody thought the grenade he was holding was fake, and so they had him send other pictures of it so they could verify if it was real. Once that was over with, they then suggested things for him to do, one of which was him undoing the grenade and flushing it down the toilet. And he did. After that though, he went silent. That's when an article came out. When translated, it says, Oscar Lopez Ortega, 17 years old, was found dead after registering an explosion inside his home. Police elements arrived at the scene at 8:45 p.m. yesterday. And with that, you have one of the most tragic things I've ever seen on the internet. For those of you questioning the validity of this, not only did this article come out the exact same day as the 4chan post in question, but the police in this article arrived at the home in question just an hour after the OP's final post. One thing I want to address really quickly revolving this is that the aforementioned time, because as you'll see, the final post was at 8:44, and the cops supposedly came to the apartment at 8:45, which is obviously impossible unless they were literally teleporting entities. However, this was actually due to time zone differences, and the police actually arrived 1 hour after the tragedy. When creating the idea for this series, we did it because 4chan had the possibility of two things. It had good, fun, creepy posts, and then it had absolutely disturbing, tragic posts that show off the darkest things you can possibly see out there. And well, this is clearly one of them. If you've noticed, this video has truly had some pretty dark stuff in it, whether it be the horrific murders of livestock or the tragedy we just talked about. But for the last post, let's brighten it up a bit. This final post is about a good old TV hacking, this one happening in Germany. Let's read the post. Here we go again, 2004 in Germany. Someone/thing hijacked a ProSieben, a German TV channel, while commercials are running. Green texting experience. Picture is static for solid 30 seconds. After that, some sort of alien repoid was standing behind a desk saying something. He's looking to his left, looking back at the camera. He's confused. So am I, watching this. Picture goes static again, commercial goes on like normal. Confusion. On the day after the commercial ran, some other shows pick it up and talk about it. Yeah guys, it's a pirate advertisement for Halo 2, all good. They rerun the clip. It's manufactured and completely different. WTF. I'm not saying a lamo or whatever, probably just somebody hacking the actual channel and messing with them, and they are trying to cover it up to keep integrity, but whatever. I was looking for almost 15 years now. If somebody has recorded it on VHS, I even offered to pay £100 on local market sites, etc. Some lad uploaded the manufactured rerun of the commercial on YouTube. I've posted it here a few times already over the last few years. Most of the comments are in German. You probably need to use Google Translator. 90% of them are also talking about it being different, etc. The other 10% say nothing is wrong. Anyhow, let this die like my hopes. Using the link he provided at the bottom of the post, it brings us to, as he said, a recreation of the supposed hacking. As you can see from the video, this would have been an insane hacking, almost reminiscent of Max Headroom in the way that some man in a costume suddenly appears on screen bobbing his head around while talking. I also find it important to mention that a lot of the comments here remember the hacking, and when combined with the fact that the remake video is pretty old, it really does seem like this hacking did happen. Unfortunately, the hacking of course wasn't on a big network like Max Headroom, and so it faded away. Which is a real shame, because if this hacking was anything like how the recreation shows, then this was something absolutely insane. As the OP said, this hack doesn't seem possible to find. However, if any of you guys somehow have a possible lead, feel free to write a comment about it below. If you didn't notice, in this video we only had 4 posts that we discussed, instead of the usual 5 or 6. And while these posts were more in depth than usual, I do have some good news, and that is the fact that we have a bonus post. Let's just get right into the real last post. Just a quick question, maybe an entomologist could answer. What the fuck is this? It's maybe an 1.5 inches in length and was found in West Florida. Anyone know what it is? Looks like a bug. Thanks. Yeah, we both laughed at this post way harder than we probably should have, and we felt like we had to include it, especially with this being quite the dark video, as we wanted to end this video on somewhat of a positive note. And that's going to do it for this edition of our 4chan deep dive. Obviously, this was definitely the darkest dive yet, but at the end of the day, when coming up with the idea for this series, we knew that it could get this dark, as 4chan has its really creepy reputation for a reason. But I hope you all enjoyed it regardless. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow all of our social medias for updates and exclusive content, all linked in the description. Especially consider becoming a patron, as even $1 a month really helps and you guys get some slick rewards, and of course, make sure to like this video, share this with your friends, and subscribe. As always, my name is Seth from Debunk File. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.